Makyam. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakakadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who teach and rule well, and Shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading this truth and sincerity. Shalom. So in this video, I want to, go into the topic of an herb that I'm using myself right now, which I am feeling, like the effects of it, in my body. Which that herb is called Maca, which the Maca that I'm using is the black Maca, which is actually aimed towards the man. And I'm also going into the red Maca, which is actually aimed towards the women. But before I want to actually do that, I want to read a couple of scriptures in the book of Sirach. Salakia. I already feel the coughing coming up, so it's like, let me take a couple of sips. But I want to go into Sirach 38, which is going into the topic of the physician using the herbs, basically for the benefits and the healing, of the people, man. So I'm going to read these scriptures, and then I'm going to go into the information concerning the Maca. So this is Sirach chapter 38, starting at verse 1. It says, honor a physician with the honor due unto him for the uses which ye may have of him, for the Lord Yahweh hath created him. So a physician is someone that works with herbs that is actually directed at healing people and helping them. Not a doctor that doctors, with medicine, which is only, used to cover up symptoms. And that's basically, what I experienced a while ago. When I was sick, had a high fever, 41 degrees Celsius. I took ibuprofen, and I took some sort of aspirin. It's called paracetamol, which is like an aspirin. And with that, my fever basically became less. But my body was still, basically, fucked in that sense. But with the herbs, you try to really get away or get rid, of, the things that is going on in the body. So this is Sirach 38 and 2. For of the Most High cometh healing, and he shall receive honor of the king. So it is the Heavenly Father that actually provides the healing. But what is the Heavenly Father able to use? He's able to use the herbs which he created, with certain, type of, how you say that, it contains, certain things that are beneficial and that might provide healing or, support for the body. And in the end, it isn't necessarily the herb, but it's the Heavenly Father that commands, the things to basically work. You know what I mean? Verse 3, it says, the skill of the physician shall lift up his head, and in the sight of a great man he shall be in admiration. So this man, he's basically going to be respected, Verse 4, the Lord Yahweh hath created medicines out of the earth, and he that is wise will not abhor them. So like I said, the Heavenly Father has created the herbs. And in modern day, we know that medicines, are the ones that, are mostly created, or have their origin from petrol, but the real medicines come out of the earth. And a wise person will not avoid, using the herbs from time to time, because it's also not good, to use them consistently. You know, Verse 5, was not a water made sweet with wood, that the virtue thereof might be known? Yeah, so in this instance, they speak about what happened during the time of Moses, where the water was made sweet, by the wood. And, that actually also shows you the strength, that the wood had, you know. Verse 6, and he hath given man skill that he might be honored in his marvelous works. With such doth he heal men and taketh away their pains. Of such doth the apothecary make a confection, and of his works there is no end, and from him is peace all over the earth. Yeah, so that concoction, or because an apothecary in this day and age, we have it as well in the Dutch apotheek, which that is an apothecary, and how you say it? There they basically provide the people with the medication, right? But a real apothecary is one that carries the herbs, and he makes like potions, certain combinations of herbs, that have a certain benefit, for the person and his ailments, or that he might need, for his body, and one of the things that come in my mind is a herbal confection that I made myself for my hair, which contained, I don't even know all the ingredients no more, but at least they contain rosemary, and the other one that is very similar, lavender, rosemary, lavender, and there's another one in there. And what happened when I put it, on my head, these small hairs start to grow back. It's gonna take a while before it all, comes back stronger, but that is something that I basically was able to create, with the information that is out there on those herbs and the benefit that they have for hair, and the maca that I'm about to go into. And the maca that I'm about to go into, also has those benefits, man. So, hold on. It says black maca, performance, focus, and male vitality. It says black maca is the rarest and strongest variety. It's especially known for its effects on energy, cognition, muscle, and male reproductive health. It says main benefits of black maca. It boosts energy and endurance. Black maca helps the body produce more usable energy without stimulants. Many people report less fatigue, better workout performance, improved stamina. It's popular with athletes and physically demanding workers. So that's one of the benefits that it has. It says improves focus and memory. Research shows black maca may support mental clarity, faster thinking, better memory retention. It's useful when you're under pressure, studying, or working long days. And these are not the benefits that I'm seeking from the black maca. I say that myself. What I'm actually seeking from the black maca is like support, with my endocrine system. The hormones being balanced, and being in the optimal ratios. Basically, so that I'm able to feel better, perform better, But the fun part actually is that when your hormones are at optimum levels and everything is in the right ratio, you're gonna have better memory and focus. You're gonna feel better and have more endurance. You're going to be able to perform better in the gym as well, because now you have that. Now you have the capability to perform. You know. It says point 3. It says supports muscle growth and strength. Black maca may help with muscle memory, testosterone balance. It says not artificial boosting. So what is going to happen is that within the body itself, because the hormones being balanced, the testosterone, and actually the free testosterone is what actually determines how much muscle you're going to make, in conjunction with other factors, IGF and whatever growth hormone, they are able to determine your your muscle building qualities. But it's going to basically optimize whatever is within you, basically. It says physical resilience. That's why it's often included in men's performance texts. It says enhances male fertility and libido. It says one of black maca's strongest areas: improves sperm count, improves sperm motility, increases sexual desire, supports erectile function. Importantly, it supports hormones without being hormonal itself. Yeah, because it has the effect on the what is it? On that axis. Let me see. The HPTA axis. Hypothalamic pituitary testicular axis, which has to do with the endocrine system, governing male fertility and testosterone production, comprising of the hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and testes, which that has the effect to stimulate the LH and the FSH, which those, are important, for the production of the hormones that we have as men. It says stress resistance and mood stability. It says black maca is an adaptogen, meaning it helps the body adapt to stress. More stable mood, better stress handling, reduced burnout feeling. What I'm feeling right now is I feel a little bit agitated. Since today I feel a little bit agitated. So that means that my body is experiencing, certain changes, within my hormones that I need to basically stick with, or basically, suck it up and write out, those days that I'm gonna feel like this, and basically usurp some self-control. It says best used for black maca: morning pre-workout with food in powders and smoothies, oat, yogurt, or capsules. Well, I myself, I got the protein powder. I ordered that. Gonna come in tomorrow in the mail. So most likely I'm gonna add it, after my gym sessions. Put it in the shake, mix it up, and basically, um, tug it away. And the typical doses is 1.5 to 3 grams per day. What I do is I just take a tablespoon, like a certain heap, that I know is gonna be like roughly 2 grams or something. It says it's not a stimulant. It's safe for daily use and works best after 1 to 3 weeks of consistent use, which means that it's something that you're gonna have to take for a longer amount of time for your body to really put in the work, because it's not gonna be a day and night thing. What is gonna happen is gonna promote that HPTA axis, which then is gonna basically let the body work and work towards that result that you want, which is improved hormone balances. But it's the same thing as a project. The project that you have in construction, it starts off, and then over time you're gonna see and notice those results, and eventually you're gonna have that end result that you desired. So it's gonna take some time. It's gonna be a while before you're gonna notice anything. You see, so right now I want to go into the red maca, which this one is more aimed towards the females. And it says red maca hormones, balance, and female wellness. It says red maca is the most widely used variety for women's health and hormone balance. It's gentler, calming, and strongly connected to the endocrine system. It says the hormonal balance. Red maca helps regulate but not replace hormones. It supports estrogen and progesterone balance, helps with PMS, reduces cycle irregularity, useful during perimenopause and menopause. It works through the hypothalamus and pituitary instead of forcing hormonal levels. You see, so like it said, it does not replace hormones. Is going to make sure that the body, is basically kickstarted to do its job on its own. And a couple of benefits that we already see is like, for women in the time of their separation, or in the time that they run out of their eggs and basically they're not able to make children or more at a later age, which is that menopause. It says reduce menopause symptoms. Many women use Rep Maca for hot flashes, night sweats, mood swings, sleep problems. It supports smoother hormonal transitions. It says bone density support. Rep Maca may help with protecting the bones, reduce osteoporosis risk, support calcium metabolism. It says especially helpful after 35 to 40 plus years old. So that's concerning these women. The peak for these women, is actually between the 20 and the 30s. That's their peak. After that, they go downhill. For men, we peak at around 40, and then we slightly go downhill. But, depending on how we decide to tackle our health and our lifestyle, we're able to deal with it better. It says it helps with mood, anxiety, and emotional stability. It says Rapmaka supports lower anxiety, better emotional balance, reduced irritability, more stable energy through the day. It's often described as calming but energizing. It says libido and sensual health. Rapmaka gently supports sexual desire, vaginal health, blood flow, sensitivity, without being overstimulating. Best use for red maca morning or early afternoon with meals in smoothies, coffee, oats, yogurt, or capsules. So basically the same thing, as the black maca. Same dosage, 1.5 to 3 grams per day. Um, Important truths about the maca. It says maca does not add hormones. It helps your own system regulate itself through the brain endocrine connection. That's why it's safe and effective for long-term use. So yeah, the black maca is basically for drive, power, focus, and performance, and the red maca is for balance, harmony, hormones, and emotional wellness. So truth be told, both men and women can take both varieties, but as men, we would like to have the black maca, and as women, y'all want to have the red maca, you know. So yeah, like I said, I am witnessing or experiencing the effects of the black maca. Um, I've been busy with it right now for about a week to 2 weeks right now, so I have to see how things are going. When it concerns my workouts. Up and coming week, I have a deload week, which means I'm not going to do as much. But after that, I'm gonna have 3 more weeks of building up, and I'm very, very curious how those 3 weeks are gonna turn out to be. And then I'm gonna see what results I'm gonna have. So when it concerns The herb Maca. This is something that I would recommend brothers to really use, and also sincere sisters out there. You know, because being in this weak flesh, in this body, being basically plagued by Esau, his devices, his tricks, and whatnot, to basically target the both the masculine and the feminine, and to destroy them. It is very wise to use this on a regular basis, or to make sure that the body is as much as possible optimized to the best of our ability, man. You see. So with that, I do hope and pray that this video was edifying. And with that, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory unto Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh Bashmi Yoshai, Bahasham Kokadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, who teach and rule well, and shalom to the sincere Akim, spreading this truth in sincerity. Shalom.